Good morning, everyone, and a warm welcome to the flagship event that we have today, the inauguration of the Swati portal of DBT. Before we begin the proceedings, may I please request the honorable dignitaries to take the dais. Dr. Renu Swaroop, the Secretary of DBT and the Secretary of the Department of Science and Technology, to please take your place on the dais, and our Director, Dr. Shubhra Chakravarti. Please, ma'am, could you come to the dais? Ashish, my colleague at NIPGR. Before we begin the proceedings, may I request the dignitaries to please join us in lighting the lamp for the day? Ma'am. Thank you, and may I now request the Director NIPGR, Dr. Shubhra Chakravarti, to please deliver the welcome address.
So Honorable Secretary Dr. Renu Swaroop, Secretary DBT as well as DST, and very dear Chairperson of NIPGR governing body, as well as all other dignitaries who have joined, the DBT directors and DBT officials, or anyone who have joined us either offline or online, and any other dignitaries who are with us today for this launch. To all of you, including all the students, all the researchers, all women researchers, as well as our friend and fraternity of any other person who are with us today. I say a very, very good morning to all of you. So on behalf of myself, as well as on behalf of the entire NIPGR family, I welcome all of you to today's inauguration of the Swati portal that will be done very soon, in a couple of minutes from now on. I think, as you all know, maybe it was a time when it was a problem for women to do science, particularly in STEM area, and I think that was much before. Today, when we are going to have this occasion, I think the STEM has taken place where we have lot of contribution, not only worldwide, but in India, in Indian science, which came from the women researchers, not only in plant science where NIPGR works, but also in mathematics, in physics, in chemistry, in engineering, any of the STEM area. And therefore, I think today it is something working hand in hand with all our men colleagues, and I don't think that we are anyway in isolation today. However, we still need to possibly achieve some somewhere that we need at leadership position more of the women, not only in India but also in the globe. And means today I think it comes in my mind that this institute the seed was sown by another great women leader, and that is Madam Manju Sharma, who has groomed possibly many of us in India. And today we have another secretary who is Dr. Swaroop, under whose guidance for last few years, NIPGR, that was the seed was sown. But after that, today NIPGR has grown, it's matured, the flower has bloomed, and we are at the mature stage where possibly NIPGR has put itself in the plant science domain, not only in India, but worldwide. And in last few years, the support, the continued support that we have got from our very dear and honorable secretary, Dr. Swaroop, that NIPGR program has come into a much higher stage. And we really appreciate that, and we are grateful to you, ma'am. And in that case, we look forward for continued support, and I'm sure we'll be getting that from you and DBT all the time, so that NIPGR can do much better, and our students, our researchers, our faculty, our staff gets whatever they want to do and take the Indian science much ahead. So I think I would like to quote Barbara McClintock on this occasion that comes to me. Once she said, if you know you are on the right track, if you have this inner knowledge, then nobody can turn you off, no matter what they say. And that is where we are. And I think that strength all of us have jointly to take our science further. At the same time, you know, when we talk about women and men, I don't see any divide today. I am possibly a lucky person who never had this kind of any difficulty throughout my career, but maybe some people might not have so lucky. But in that case, era has come where we can do many things together. And again, I quote Henry Ford. He said once, coming together is a beginning, keeping together is progress, and working together is success. And that is where I think all of us, whole scientific fraternity, has to work together to get our accomplishment done, to take our science and science-based knowledge to benefit the society at large in India, and at the same time take our technology, take our science not to the local, but to the global. And with that, I think I would like to take this opportunity to also mention my deep sense of appreciation, gratitude to all our distinguished guests and audience for accepting our invitation for today in a very, very short notice. Maybe all may have gone out late in the night and today morning, and participate with us today. Particularly, I would like to mention few of our NIPGR staff along with DBT colleagues, that is Dr. Garima Gupta, Dr. Sanjay Mishra from DBT, as well as from NIPGR, Dr. Gitanjali Yadav, Dr. Ashish Ranjan, and Dr. Amarpal Singh, along with our technical staff, Dr. Ajima Begum, and we also have Ratnesh and Bhavnesh. They have done untiring effort for last almost we actually started, all of you know that Madam had launched it on 8th of March this year, but then after that DBT collated almost 5,000 women scientist information, and NIPGR, these people have actually could reach out around 1900. All the statistics I'm sure Gitanjali will tell us, and this is a dynamic thing. We will keep on doing it, but with that, I would like to end now today, and definitely the support that all NIPGR staff, including administration, and all the time does, and this time also it was not an exception. So thank you all for this, and I now would like to request Gitanjali to give us a little bit about the Swati portal.
I thank the director for giving me this opportunity. It is not just a pleasure for me, but also a great honor to be standing here today to introduce Swati to all of you. As you're well aware, Swati is science and technology for women in India. And particularly, you all know that many of us have often talked about what we can do for women in science, what is happening for women in science, you know, what women achievers are there, who's got the awards, who are the shining stars of Indian women in science, and so on. But this year, on 8th of March, on Women's Day, Dr. Renu Swarup, the Secretary of DBT, changed all that by saying, let's just get some action rolling. And she said, it's not just about the women achievers, but every single woman in science, be it an undergraduate girl student in a remote university in India, or be it a faculty member, or the first president of the Indian National Science Academy, the lady president, of course. And so make it something for every woman. That would really be there. So you and I, all of us, are therefore part of Swati now, and that was what got us rolling. So the first part was for us a huge challenge, of course, to see how we would get this portal hit the ground rolling literally, and we had great help from DBT. The DBT, as our director just told you, sent us more than 4,500 names and emails of women who had ever been funded by there was something, you have to start somewhere. I mean, I can always start if I want to know who are the major shining stars and awardees of India. There are many websites that can tell us that. But Swati would tell you about every individual student, faculty, postdoctoral researcher, project fellow, as well as the heads of different organizations. If they are women, if they're in India, if they're doing science in any way, we would try to incorporate their information into Swati. And we need your help all the time, constantly, because this is dynamic. As our director just said, change begins with the beginning. And so here we are coming together, and this is the beginning of Swati. We had 4,500 emails for women who had ever been funded by DBT, all the way going back to the inception of DBT. And many of those women, their emails would not be the same as they would, now. So then we tried over the last 4 months. We have got in touch with each and every one of those women. Some of them responded. It's amazing the ones who responded. Even retired ladies in science have responded, and we had more than almost 2,000 responses came to us over the last few months. They are still coming in, and we are incorporating these into the portal. Out of these 2,000 women, these 2,000 women represent more than 930 different organizations of India, including, initially we were thinking we've started with DBT, maybe we will have the 30 autonomous organizations of the DBT. We have university women, we have school and college teachers who have been funded by the DBT, the biocare women all over India, individuals who are currently not working but want to be part of the Swati portal, and they totally deserve to be, they are part of Swati, they are Swati, right? So we have, with that, the team here at the HRD cell of NIPGR has been able to put together cards with photographs of each one of these women that they shared with us along with their information. I have to thank them. There was a huge amount of information we wanted about each of these women, their personal email IDs as well as their official ones, so that we could stay in touch with them for time immemorial, at least as long as we have email with us. So we've now got 1,500 cards ready that are in the portal that you will see now as we inaugurate this portal and make it public to the rest of the world. Thank you very much with that. Hopefully in the next installment or on the website of NIPGR, you will see more updates as we keep getting more information on women in science in India. If you would like to be part of this portal, please check out our website. There is a form. You just have to fill it or write to us, any of us at the NIPGR HRD cell, and we'll make sure that you're on the portal. With that short introduction, may I now again request Director in NIPGR to please get the inauguration rolling with ma'am. Yes.
So I now request Dr. Swarup to inaugurate the portal and also give her keynote address to all of us.
He did this for, the cards were made by HR himself, but Chaitanya told us how this was being incorporated. So grateful to him very much.
So a very good morning to all of you, and Shubhra, Gitanjali, Sabita, all the others who are here, Nojkar, the teams who have joined online as well. First of all, thank you for having me here to inaugurate this very important portal, but more importantly, I think congratulations to everyone. This is very, very important, and as Shubhra had said, we have been speaking about science for women. And the entire STEM activities that we talk about, it's always about how do you bring in more women into the system. And I think each time I have spoken to you all, this is not the first time I'm saying that, each time I speak to you all, I keep saying this, you just have to give them a level playing field. Bring them onto the mainstream and you'll see the wonders that they do, because they have the conviction, they have the inherent qualities, and they perform. What we sometimes tend to forget is the numbers that we have currently, there isn't enough balance of it. Yes, we do see a lot of women in the biological sciences moving ahead. In other sciences, whether it's physical sciences or mathematical area or engineering area, we do see lesser numbers, which now again is sort of getting better. But as we move forward, we have seen many times that what they call the leaky pipeline. Why does the pipeline get leaky? Why don't we see more women leaders coming up? It's because, as I've said, we haven't been able to give them a platform where they could come forward for whatever, whether the BioCare scheme has facilitated it or DST has its own schemes, Vigyan Jyoti and Kiran and others. The whole purpose is to let them identify themselves with the science fraternity, the way they are taking on to the mainstream research. I think the Swati portal, which we launched on 8th of March, very rightly said by Gitanjali, it's not about women achievers. Every woman scientist or anyone who's getting into the field of science, I would say, is an achiever. You are getting, and not only for women, I say that for the men as well. Anybody who's got onto the path of doing scientific research, that's your journey. You have to strive to do better and better and better as you keep moving ahead. But this platform, and this is of course for Gitanjali now to take it forward with the team, is not just for biotechnology or not just for biological sciences. It's science for women, a technology and innovation portal. So you're looking at science, you're looking at technology, you're looking at innovation. This allows you to reach out to every organization. So yes, I agree, the beginning has to be made somewhere, and I'm glad that the DBT team has worked with you, they've given you the email IDs, but this has to move into every organization. And I would again once say, this is not just a DBT portal. It is the Women in Science in India, their portal. It's only managed and implemented by DBT and NIPGR together. That's where it's being managed and implemented. Somebody has to drive it. So we took the initiative, we are driving it. But you have to now brand it. And that responsibility, Gitanjali, I give to you and your team. To brand it in a manner in which every woman relates to this portal, whichever sciences they are. The reason why it's important is, this is the window, the single window, which allows the world outside, whether it's in the country or overseas, to get information about which are the women in science. More than anything else, as we move into it, you will see the numbers that you will build into it will clearly then dispel those apprehensions that we do not have sufficient women in science. We do have sufficient women in science. It will then create an urgency in the mind of policymakers, in the minds of leaders, to be able to look at the statistics, to say, why are we not getting sufficient women to go up? Why are we not getting women to move on to the leadership position? You should use the portal just as a beginning, where you're getting information, where you're collecting statistics. And then this statistics should actually be what you should use for statistical analysis. You should identify which area, where are the areas that you're not getting sufficient women. So you can actually be a guiding force for all future policy decisions to be taken in terms of women in science activities. You should identify, because you're going to get students from undergraduate to postdoc to doctoral, postdoctoral and scientific. You will be able to identify where are the women dropping out, which are the fields that they're getting more attracted to, where do we need to put in more of our, see, whatever we do, whatever decisions we take, always have to be scientifically driven. And this is not just, as I've said, a portal where you will write to people and get information. You should make it into a dynamic portal. And that is going to happen when you brand it, when you communicate about it. Give them a window where they can directly enter into the portal. You may not put the whole thing out, you may filter it, but let it come onto it. This way you'll be able to open it to the industry. You must go to the startup community, you must go to the industry. They are the women in science, they are the women in technology, they are the women in innovation. So don't limit yourself with just DBT, DBT's institutes and NIPGR. Use this as a window that takes you, and believe me, I don't think you have many such portals even globally available. So you should actually benchmark this, and this is not the first time. The Indian government ecosystem and policies that we have put out for women in STEM have been so well appreciated on different fora where we've had discussions, whether it's the trilateral meeting that we did with Australia and UK, or it's the Indo-US platforms that we've discussed, or any of our others. We've always seen that the Indian policies that we put out for the women in science have always been one step ahead of what has been done earlier. So we should never underestimate the power that we have of policy making, decision making, and support that we give to our women scientists. Today, let's not just judge ourselves by how many women directors do we have, how many women presidents do we have of academies, how many fellows do we have, or which panel has how many women in it, or which award committee has how many women. That's important. Those are important benchmarks to judge yourself. We need to judge ourselves by how many training programs have we actually given for women leadership. Have we given them sufficient women leadership strengths for them to rise to that occasion? Once we do that, you will automatically see numbers increasing. You are seeing it increasing. You see more women scientists being awarded. The reason is, wherever we've put out schemes for women, we've not compromised on quality. We have made sure that biocare, for example, it's a separate stream that we put in because the requirements were different. We had women who took career breaks, and that's important. That's part of our socio-cultural system. Now, when they would want to come back after their break, we did realize that age became a factor for them because government jobs obviously had certain limitations which we could not change. So we made these career paths for them. Once they've come in, and the statistics show us that they have been doing so exceedingly well, and the similar statistics in DST as well I see when I see there. So I think all that I'm trying to say is really compliments to you. I was telling Shubhra, in fact, when I walked in, I said kudos to this women's director and scientific team here who could do it so quickly. But remember one thing, the opportunity that this portal has to scale should not be limited with your capacity to scale. Never let that happen, because if you cannot scale, or you can scale only to the factor of X and they have the opportunity to scale to the factor of infinity, then you are limiting it to the factor of x rather than allowing it to go to infinity. So, create a model which is sustainable, which is recognized, which is in fact branded such that every girl, woman who is in science would want their name to figure onto that portal. I mean, that's the type of branding, and today's communication tools allow that to happen. Whether it's your social media, whether it's your international partnerships, you should do all that. But I think this is very important. Just don't let it limited to be the cards that you put in, which is such a wonderful idea, because it gives you, this is a sort of a window to get in. The moment you get in with that card and that information, that then allows you an in-depth understanding and information on many other things, and make this dynamic. In fact, I would suggest engage with one of these young startups, women startups, who would love to take this as a model for them to see how they'll bring in, you can bring in AI into this. I mean, there's so much you can do, Gitanjali. You just have to start thinking what you can do, and you'll have so many other models. This can be very useful data, and it will help all of us to then guide and see how we can do it. And you'll be surprised with the wonderful work that will get reflected through this. So, once again, congratulations to everybody who's done it. I'm so glad that we've been able to officially inaugurate this today. Put this into the public domain, let people see it, let them go. 1,500 names is not a small number to begin with in a short period of time. Very soon you will see 1,500 to 15,000 and then 150,000, and that's how you'll see numbers increasing. So good, thank you so much. I'm glad it's been done as a part of the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. I saw that logo there, wonderful. We do hear our Honorable Prime Minister and Minister always saying that it is actually a woman-led development activity. So that's what we are into. That's what we are trying to see how we take it ahead, and I'm sure this will do very well. So thank you very much, and congratulations to you all again.
Dear ma'am, thank you very much for your kind words, as well as your encouragement and support throughout this effort that we've had, not just yours, the entire DBT team. I need to just make clear one thing. The cards on the Swati portal do not have any public or private information for any of the people who are, any of the women who are there. The information is only with us, and we constantly need ideas. Currently, the portal, as you saw it and will, has 4 sections, one for the awardees and pioneering women, one for the faculty members in India, one for students, and another one for postdoctoral people. We need more ideas. Ma'am has just given an idea that we could bring in industry women, and that's absolutely a fantastic thing. The second thing she has said is, the way I was telling, there are different organizations. Let's bring in a mechanism whereby you could search by different organizations. How many women from this organization or different universities are there on the Swati portal? So you could come and browse and search it in different ways, but we need your ideas and your input, and you need to join us for that. With that, I think I would request, we have a small token of our love and our respect for ma'am, Dr. Renu Swarup, and I request one of our students, please, Divya, is it you, to please give a bouquet of flowers to ma'am. May I now request my colleague, Dr. Ashish Ranjan, who has been a pillar of strength alongside of me throughout. It is not just the women who work for Women in Science. Ashish has done a lot of this, putting it together, and to deliver the vote of thanks. Ashish, please.
Thank you. Thank you. So good morning, everyone. I, on behalf of entire NIPGR family, extend a hearty vote of thanks to our distinguished guest today, Dr. Renu Swarup, Secretary, Department of Science and Technology, Secretary, Department of Biotechnology, for gracing this occasion to inaugurate the Swati portal, which is first of its kind. As ma'am has already said, this is not just special for DBT or NIPGR, rather it is a special moment for the entire scientific community in India, and this is indeed the best way to celebrate the women in science in India, which aptly matches with the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Thank you, ma'am, for the vision to launch this portal, to inaugurate this portal, and sharing with us your inspiring words and motivation. I further thank you, ma'am, for furthering the science and innovation at our institute through your visionary perspective and support. I would like to express my sincere gratitude to our director, Dr. Subhra Chakravarti, for her continuous encouragement, guidance, and mentorship. Ma'am, we look forward to continuously seek your leadership to help us to serve and give our best to science. My sincere thanks to Dr. Gitanjali Yadav, who has been instrumental in developing this Swati portal. Thanks are due to NIPGR HRD cell personals, NIPGR bioinformatics facility, Dr. Amarpal Singh, Dr. Azima Begum, Dr. Bhavnesh, Ratnesh, Subhasis Mandal, Chaitanya, all for their tireless effort for collating the information of all domain scientists that we have currently and putting the information in the form of a portal. I also extend my thanks to all my colleagues, NIPGR administration, director's office, as well as NIPGR engineering section for their enormous cooperation and support to make this event happen. Finally, I would like to take this opportunity to thank you all for accepting our invitation and participating with us in this inauguration event of the Swati. Once again, thank you all for being with us here today. Thank you so much. With this, I also request all the faculty to gather outside the NIPGR main gate for a group photograph. Thank you so much.
People will value it, Gitanjali, and that's why I said even internationally people will understand life policy. You're absolutely correct.